You know what's fascinating? Last week, I watched a highly qualified engineer with 3 Azure certifications get rejected after their cloud interview. Not because of the technical skills, not because they couldn't code, and definitely not because they didn't know enough about Azure architecture. They were passed over because of something nobody talks about, the exact same pattern I've seen after reviewing 100 plus cloud engineering applications and helping hundreds of IT pros transition to cloud. While most engineers are obsessing over learning every Azure service or mastering another DevOps tool, they're missing the 5 critical barriers that actually determine success in cloud roles. I'm talking about the differences between engineers who get ghosted versus those who get multiple offers, those stuck at entry level versus those who happily advancing, applications that die in ATS versus those that land interviews. And one of those barriers, it's silently costing you $5,000 plus in lost salary opportunities right now. The most frustrating part, the experts keep telling you to just get another certification or learn another tool. But after helping hundreds break into cloud roles, I can tell you that advice is exactly why most people stay stuck. In the next few minutes, I'm going to review why showcasing technical tasks is actually hurting your applications, the leadership language that instantly signals authority, how DevOps culture knowledge trumps tool expertise, the common belief keeping you in preparation mode forever, and the community engagement secret that 10x your opportunities. Number 1. Not showing case value. Listing tasks and keywords instead of real projects and outcomes, it's one of the main challenges. Of course, we can leverage keywords, specific tasks just to get into the ATS systems. However, we need to focus on outcomes, projects. Were you able to turn the ship around when a project was about to get derailed and steer in the right direction and make that work? Did you just contribute to pushing a button in a project? That clearly shows in interviews and even in resumes. When you're talking with a candidate for a role, you can see their engagement on a sense of, are they just doing the tasks, or are they willing to push and make the things work? And that's what really companies are looking for. Because let's be honest, nowadays with AI and all this prompt engineering, you can easily just make a prompt that will help you with a task, will give some output. But what about challenge in a project that you needed to drive the outcome, like you needed to help the team to make the solution work, or maybe look into cost management and reduce costs? That's what really can show you as an expert and someone that's a SME in the company, and not just someone that's just clicking the buttons and doing tasks, but is really trying to drive the results of the business, drive the projects forward, and looking for the enhancements that you can do and contributions in your team. Number 2, lack of authority. Usually people think that authority is, hey, here I am, and they're really sometimes arrogant instead of being humble. And I can see this coming across with different candidates, that they are really experienced and they have all the knowledge, and somehow they are showing up like with a little bit of arrogance in the interview. And I saw candidates getting rejected because of that. So if you are in that place that, hey, Luis, I don't know enough, like I'm not ready, somehow that kind of is good for you when you go for an interview and even during your work, because you're entering the rooms, you're entering the meetings with that mentality that, hey, I don't know everything here. Let me listen closely about what's being talked here, and I will do some research, I will implement, have the foundations like, and we talk about this in our Cloud Academy about mastering the foundations. I believe that for me in my career, that kind of helped me to keep that mentality that I was there to learn. I didn't know everything, so I was trying to observe and I was trying to contribute as much as I could. If you look like even in movies like Superman, like he was the most powerful being in the planet, like he could really spin the earth, but they did make sure the move to put him there to save cats in the trees. You can see like a powerful human being doing some basic activities. That's what sometimes hurts on senior candidates or people with experience. The business will not only have like very advanced and sophisticated challenges for you to resolve. There are some times that you just need to save some cats on trees. Like it's not just making a brand new solution and brand new deployment to do the work at the enterprise. Number 3 is ignoring DevOps and Agile culture. It's really interesting to see professionals in the industry, and because they are taught in that way, unfortunately, that what really matters are all the tools and all the technologies. I agree that you need to understand them and you need to learn 100%. However, focusing just on the tools doesn't mean that you are good in collaboration, in helping the team to succeed, or if you see another team that is struggling with some challenge that you might have the skill to resolve, you can step in and help them. All these DevOps people, sometimes they see in job descriptions DevOps and they get automatically think about all the tools that are going to work. In fact, few tools will be there, like for DevOps, like 1, 2, 3 tools. However, the DevOps idea is really to collaborate with other people, other teams, drive the project forwards. As a cloud engineer, you are going to glue different teams to work together, liaise even with project managers and other teams to drive progress forward. We can't miss that nowadays, even with AI coming 100 miles per hour, like with all the things that it can do and expectation that will do in the future with AGI. But I believe that the missing component is this factor of collaborating, like going to different teams, understanding the requirements, trying to help and block them. And that can really help you to succeed in this career. Number 4 is I need to know everything before I start. This is one of the biggest challenge even for senior people. Sometimes they are fearful of starting a new project, a new initiative in the business because they don't know all the tools. They don't know all the technology or the outcome that will happen with that project because they are not fully aware about all the moving pieces. And this is the reality nowadays with complex projects. And that's the nature of the projects, like how companies, they're going to roll out new solutions. There is a lot of discovery during the project phase. And this is a major transition that happened from these waterfall methodologies that we saw in the past to more agile. You have a foundation, you have a basic understanding, and you just go and you are learning on the way. I always like to refer, like when Jeff Bezos did a quote that they would make decisions at some time in Amazon where they had only 6% of the information. They didn't know everything. And even though they made a decision and they would move forward. And that's my wish for you, that you manage the fundamentals, really believe that you can figure things out like as you go. When you develop that confidence, you can take any project. Like it doesn't mean that you need time, energy to figure things out, but given those 2 variables, you can move ahead faster than everybody else. And that's a big mentality that's required for engineers nowadays. So if you're doing an interview and I see this, sometimes people, they did master a specific toolkit, like they have that under their belt, but you can feel that they are not so willing to embrace new technologies. During the conversations, they are not showing that interested that they are going to jump in there and learn new tools. And that's big difference, like for candidates that are looking to transition to cloud engineering, mainly because all the changes that we are seeing in the industry, like Microsoft keeps updating all their products, like every week there are new releases of their products and the change is constant. So mastering everything impossible. You need to be happy that you learn the foundations, you master that. Now you move and you figure out things as you go. Because the reality is, if you believe that you need to learn everything, This leads to analysis paralysis and endless procrastination, like you are going to be stopped there waiting to learn everything instead of figuring out things as you go. And number 5 is lack of curiosity. Having a threshold that you say that you learned everything can cause you to be stagnated, and you don't make the progress to the next level. So you start asking questions, you reduce your curiosity, and that can really hinder your progress and also hinder your performance when you are in the company, in the team. Projects, technology, they are shifting, they are changing. You need to be able to move, to ask questions. Sometimes you are going to troubleshoot even legacy systems, and can be some legacy technology that was deployed there, and you need to make that work. And that can show up very clearly, like during interviews and conversations with candidates, if they are not willing to be curious, like there is this new technology that I was learning, maybe I did a lab, a POC, and that's the interesting part as well, when you show during the interviews that sometimes you are asked and you don't have those experiences that they are asking for. However, you jump in with a specific case study of a lab that you did. You did that lab because you heard someone else telling that the technology was required to be used. The technology should be implemented, and you were curious. That shows curiosity, to willingness to try new things, and that can make you to stand out, showing this component that you can have fresh perspectives and you can move from that. And last but not least, community engagement. I really believe when we are in a journey of upskilling, growing and expanding, it can be tough. Like sometimes you can really get discouraged down. And if you belong to a community where you have like-minded people that are looking towards the same goal, like they are becoming great engineers, they're growing, that can make easier for you. So I really encourage you, when you are doing this transition, to seek some communities. Maybe in your workplace you can talk with people that are in the cloud engineering space, you can learn with them, or you can join some groups like communities. Like we have our Cloud Engineer Launchpad that we mentor engineers to transition to this cloud space, and we share the common challenges and all these lessons that we have been learning in the last few years to make that journey a little bit smoother as they transition into this field. So if you enjoyed this video of today, hit like, subscribe, leave a comment to us to know what are you struggling with your transition to cloud engineering, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers!